Welcome back to Wow Drama Stories. Let's get to our story. Story number 1. Opie writes, I, female 30s, was riding an almost empty train. There were maybe 5 or 6 people in the whole carriage. I sat in a 4-seater, 2 seats on one side, 2 across, and spread out my stuff, put my jacket on the seat across from me, and put my feet on it so that the seat wouldn't get touched by my socks. If it matters. It was early in the morning and I'd been wearing these socks for less than an hour. My shoes are also clean, as I alternate 2 pairs daily to let them dry out between uses. A guy in, I guess his late 40s or maybe early 50s, entered the train, came straight to me and said, quote, "Move your bag," unquote. I was puzzled since there was plenty of free seats to go around, so I asked if he really wanted this particular seat, and he said yes. So I picked up my bag. He plopped down next to me, and I proceeded to pack up my laptop, drink, jacket, put on my shoes, and move to a different 4-seater. I spread out again. Before I could even get my shoes off, the dude was standing in front of me and said, quote, "Move your bag," unquote. I asked why. He said that he wanted to sit there. I answered that he had been wanting that certain seat that I vacated for him. So I don't see why he would want to switch seats. He scoffed and explained that it was not about the specific seat, but about, quote, "entitled people who think their bags deserve a seat," unquote. I told him that I moved once for him and wouldn't move again. He made a movement as if he wanted to grab my bag, and I raised my voice saying, quote, "Don't you effing dare," unquote. He started lamenting about entitled people again. I told him, quote, "I moved for you. There are hundreds of seats on this train. Sit somewhere else," unquote. He called me an a-hole and went back to his seat. Then he called someone on his phone, or acted like it, who knows, and proceeded to loudly complain about, quote, "entitled witches," unquote. To be clear, when a train fills up, I of course gather my stuff and vacate seats around me so that others can sit. But I don't see why I should let some rando boss me around and invade my personal space for no reason. Edit. I am having a good laugh about all the people commenting on me putting very clean socks on my reasonably clean jacket, while of course instead there must be only butts on seats. And as we all know, butts are so much more hygienic than feet. I seem to have pinpointed that it's considered bad manners in some cultures, maybe in the US, where a lot of users are coming from. In my culture, it is not considered bad manners. So I will not be taking your advice of, quote, "keep your damn shoes on," unquote, to heart. My question was also about refusing to let the guy sit next to me and not across from me. So I am really amused by so many people focusing on that. So I will be ignoring all shoe-related comments. But of course, if your heart so desires, please let it all out. Edit 2. Okay, now people are sliding into my DMs and asking for pictures of my feet. What have I done? Edit 3. More serious this time. There's a lot of comments here. I just took the time to read all of them and answer as many as I can. It took nearly 3 hours. One thing pops up a lot, namely people being scared for me in that situation. Thank you for your concern. I really appreciate it. I would like to address that. This situation was not scary. I would say I am pretty good at listening to my gut, and it has served me really well so far. But in this situation, my spidey senses were not tingling at all. My impression of the dude was one of self-righteousness and some tinge of entitlement, maybe a bit of creepiness, but no hints of danger or physical violence. There were a lot of people describing situations that started out similarly and were honestly scary. I really hope that all of you are okay. Also, I am updating from the train right now with my shoes on. Oh, goodness me, OP. I don't think you did anything wrong because as you said, there were hardly any people on the train, and if there were, you would have made the seats available for them. Also, as a lot of people pointed out in the comments, this guy probably would never approach a guy doing the same thing and tell him to move his things. He saw you as somebody that he could pick on, and he wanted to intimidate you and make you feel uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure he didn't expect you to stand up for yourself the way that you did. And yes, I wonder if he was really on the phone with somebody or if he was just pretending to call someone. Because that sounds a bit juvenile for a man of that age, to make a phone call to complain to somebody about a girl putting her bag on an empty seat. But anyway, OP, you certainly can handle yourself. And hopefully you will not run into this guy again. And on to story number 2. OP writes, I, female 17, have a sister, Casey, female 22, and a stepbrother, Duncan, male 23. He is dating Sakura, female 23, and they had a baby at the start of January, a precious girl. Casey and I get along pretty well. She is a bit complicated, but she is a great sister and I love her. I was never really close with Duncan, as my sister didn't like him very much, and he also went to live abroad as soon as he turned 18. But he was always very nice with the both of us. Casey has always had self-esteem issues since she was pretty young. Honestly, both of us are pretty normal looking, a bit on the chubby side. My sister has always had trouble with that and would make fun of prettier girls, talking about how they're probably stupid and stuff. The thing is, Sakura is a model, literally. You know those girls that you look at in a magazine and are like, damn, I wish I was her. That's literally Sakura. So my sister never liked her, although she is a really kind girl. She also had a wonderful pregnancy and a very easy baby. And, I hate to use this term, but she bounced back extremely fast after pregnancy. A week in and she was in a bikini looking like a goddess with her new baby. My sister hates it. She hates her. She is super jealous and keeps on talking about how it's unfair that girls like Sakura have everything easy. And my mom hates her because my sister hates her. My family has always been big on celebrations, and my 18th birthday is coming, which is a huge deal for them. And my mom and my sister are insisting I don't invite Sakura. They want me to invite Duncan, just not her, and I'm a bit torn. I love my sister and would never want to do something to make her feel insecure. On the other hand, it feels wrong to just exclude her, especially because her whole family is in Japan, so she only has my stepbrother here. They're also both family, so I don't know what to do. But my mom and sister are pressuring me a lot, and I don't want to make them feel bad. Would I be the a-hole if I don't invite her? And here's OP's update 2 months later. Forgot I had posted this, figured I could update. To make it short, things didn't go well at all, and I'm not talking to my sister. I ended up throwing the party. It was this barbecue thing with friends and family. I had a private talk with Casey and my mom beforehand to ask them to please not say anything mean. So yes, I ended up inviting both Duncan and Sakura and baby. First, they said they weren't sure, but ended up coming, and family got to meet the baby. She goes to work with Sakura, so is used to being with people. She is really well behaved and so cute. Everyone was all over them, which was okay by me, to be honest. Obviously, my sister and my mom couldn't shut up. They wouldn't say anything in front of her, but at first it was making fun of the baby's name. It's such a short and cute name. Nothing weird or embarrassing. Then about how weird it was that Duncan was doing, quote, girl things, unquote, which was literally changing diapers and carrying those purses with stuff the baby needs. Then it was the same mean comments about Sakura, and things got real awkward when people started asking her about her job, and she mentioned a few photo shoots that week. Duncan wouldn't stop gushing about this big thing she was going to do soon too. It was cute, but both my mom and sister were fuming. I did try to stop them whenever I heard, but I was also in my party talking with everyone. Everything went south when we were in the kitchen, and my sister made a disgusting comment to my mom. saying something like the baby was going to be, quote, pretty but stupid, unquote, like Sakura. Can't remember the exact words, but basically that. And I'm sure Sakura heard. A few minutes later, Duncan came and told me that Sakura had a stomachache, so they would leave. Didn't say anything else. I didn't say anything at the moment, but had a huge fight with both Casey and my mom after the party, and haven't been talking to Casey since then. I still live with my mom. It sucks because Casey is my sister after all, and I effing miss her. But that was so disgusting. I don't know what will happen. I really don't, and I hate it. I did try to bring it up on a call with Duncan once, but he said I don't need to say anything. They're both okay with me though. As far as I know, they also didn't say anything to anyone else. So yeah, that's all, I guess. Opie also said that she would be moving with a friend in a few months. Well, Opie, your sister and your mom have a lot of growing up to do. Because Sakura, as you said, she's a nice girl. She hasn't done anything to deserve this. Her only crime is that she is beautiful and your sister is insecure. The mean and cruel insecure. Your sister could be the most beautiful girl in the world and still be ugly because, as they say, it's what's inside. But Opie, you handled it all very well, very mature for your age, considering you're up against your sister and your mom. Duncan and Sakura also sound very mature in the way that they handled it. Because not confronting your mom and your sister about it, it's not because they're afraid, it's because they have too much dignity and class. Something your sister and your mom, unfortunately, Opie, also lack. Being jealous of someone because they're good looking and they have a good life is such a foolish thing, really. Because when you think about it, none of us know what life still has in store. Everyone will have some hardship in life that they're going to have to face at some point. And that hardship may be something so bad that it will make you say, thank goodness that's not me. Just focus on yourself and your own journey. It doesn't help to be jealous about someone because you think they're more beautiful than you are. It's so superficial because there's so much more to life than what somebody looks like. And in the end, no matter how beautiful somebody is, how handsome, looks do fade. And all that remains is your character. And that's something your sister and your mom, Opie, need to focus on. Story number 3. Opie writes, I, 22 female, just cut contact with my ex-best friend, 25 female, and my mother, 45 female. Last night, I had gotten into another argument with my best friend. This has been going on recently, and she starts the arguments over little things. Examples being what I post, how I'm doing, etc. Well, last night was it. I stood up for myself and I cared about my mental well-being, since I've never been good at doing it for a long time. I told her I couldn't do the friendship anymore due to various things, so I just wanted to stop being friends. I told her to not contact me for a while. Maybe after a few months we could try to be friends again. This morning, I woke up to an angry paragraph of her blowing up and saying everything was my fault, since I had already blocked them on my main account. I used an old alternative account and told her again to leave me alone or there will be legal consequences. I suppose she then decided the next best thing to do to hurt me was call my mother crying and hysterical, saying that I was being rude, and even sending her private conversations me and her had, me venting about stuff that happened in the past and such. My mother used to be my abuser, so you can already tell where this is going. Nothing physical. She screams at my grandma. My phone is off so she can't call me, telling her that I'm the worst person and I do nothing but make people miserable. My grandma tells me this and I start fuming. I tell my grandma I want no further contact with my mother and no association. If she wants to be against her daughter all the time, then I guess she doesn't have one. After that, I haven't heard anything yet, and quite frankly, I'm relieved. I've been keeping good relations with those two to keep them happy, when I should have cared about myself more. I'm excited about the future, and I'm happy that I'm now looking for better friends and a better support group. Life has never felt more sweet. If there are any updates, maybe I'll try to post, but for now, I'm going to take time to smell the beautiful roses. And here's an update from Opie 2 months later. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to my original post. So a nice bit has happened since I cut off my mom and ex-best friend. For starters, I have not unblocked my ex-best friend or heard a word from her, so yeah. She had tried telling my mother that I did horrible stuff my mom didn't believe anyways. And finally, I caved and spoke with my mother. She ended up apologizing profusely, saying that she should have believed me to begin with, but she was so angry by what I had vented to my ex-best friend. I kinda just listened and said, yeah, okay, or call me a jerk, but it's true. I still stay away from my mom a nice bit, but every now and then she'll call the house phone to see how I'm doing. Also, my cousin got involved, telling my ex-best friend to stop with all the lies and threats. These two used to go to school together, so she already knew who I was talking about. After my cousin yelling at me, ex-best friend and her friend finally said they'd just stop, and it's whatever. My cousin hasn't heard anything since. Apparently, ex-friend's life hasn't been going too well though, still not finding a job, and apparently her life has been rough, hearing from old mutuals. I never wish anything bad on anyone, but karma is a B. Life is still going good for me. New job, and I'm finally starting to work on my mental health with a specialist and getting my physical health in shape. Probably won't be any more updates, but if there are, I'll definitely post. Ciao! Well, OP, I see this as one of those cases where a friendship just isn't supposed to last forever. You know, sometimes people are meant to come into our lives for a certain period of time, and then we go our separate ways again. And it sounds to me like you and your ex-best friend, you probably should have parted ways long before everything blew up. Not everyone is meant to be in our life forever, and that really is okay. That's just life. As for your relationship with your mother, it seems like there is potential there for that to improve. So if you want to focus on improving your life, your mental health, as you said, maybe you can try and work a bit on that. But also, don't push it if it doesn't feel right. Work on that as and when it feels right. Well, that's it for this edition. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, leave me a comment, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye.